What up, guys? We're back at it again, coming with the fight breakdown. This time we're breaking down the whole entire fight card of Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak, starting from the bottom, working our way to the top. We're coming off two cards that we broke down. Both had winning records. My boy Harley been killing it lately, man. And
Yeah, bro.
got bragging rights right now on me, but I got a feeling I'm gonna get him on this card.
We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell, bro. I'm confident.
All right. Before we get into this card, man, there's maybe about three fights that we both are, pretty confident in. All the other fights, you can make a good case for both fighters winning. Like, dude, this is a very hard fight card to break down. A lot of close fights, and even the favorites, the underdogs, are still have passed the win. So. With that being said, we have Natalia Silva, 13-5-1, coming off her debut win versus Teresa Bleda, 6-0, coming off the Contender Series, looking to make her UFC debut. What you got on this fight?
Yeah, man. A lot of people, I watch them and then I look at other things on fighters. A lot of people are really high on Blade. She's really talented. A good young prospect, like you mentioned, coming off the contender series. I think this fight could truly go either way. But to be honest with you, Zach, I'm leaning more in this fight towards Natalia Silva. Like I said, I think it'll be a close fight. Silva has been around the block for a while. Been the more experienced fighter. Although she's still young in her own right, she's the more experienced fighter. Been around the block, fought a lot of good, decent opposition. Uh, I give her the speed advantage. Uh, and she's also got really good movement on her feet to go along with some great takedown defense, man. And I think that's gonna be the biggest difference in this fight. Is yeah, she's a good striker, but I think it's gonna boil down to her takedown defense. I think Blade's gonna want to get it to the ground. If she can get it to the ground, uh, if she can get it to the ground, I think I like Blade's chances. However, Blade likes to work from on top, from the top position, which everybody would rather be on top on the ground. But the thing about this is, I think I think Silva. I give her the edge on her feet. And I also think she's got a decent ground game as well, man. She's sneaky on the ground. A lot of people overlook that. They just look at her striking, man, and you go down her record. She's got maybe not as of late, but overall on her record, she's got quite a few submissions, man. Her favorite sub is the armbar, so I think if she does get it to the ground, she might be able to pull up a submission. However, I don't see that happening. I go Silva in this fight by a close decision, man, and I think her stand up with her good movement, her good speed, and her takedown defense, it's gonna be the difference in this fight.
Word, word. Before I break this fight down, man, I got a prediction before the prediction. Uh, I feel like both these girls, Bleda's like what, 20 years old, Silva's 25.
25.
Before it's
Yeah.
all said and done, these girls are gonna be in the top 15 for sure.
Oh, I agree. I could definitely see that happening,
This
man.
is this is one of them fights we look back on and we're gonna be like, damn, these were two high level girls going at it at an early stage in their career. Um, with that being said, I agree with everything you said. But I'm taking a risk. I don't like it, but I feel like Bleda is gonna be the more physical girl. In my opinion, I think Silva could fight 115. I think that's where she belongs, 115. And Bleda has fought at 135. And if you looked at her contender series fight, she was the more physical girl. She's real big for 125. And I feel like that's just gonna give her a little bit of an edge. I feel like skill for skill wise, Silva is the better. But I feel like Bleda being the more on top heavy girl, and I feel like Silva is gonna throw up arm bars for sure. Is she gonna get them? She could, but if she don't, I think that's gonna be her downfall to going for
Hmm.
subs off her back rather than trying to get right back up.
Oh
Very,
yeah.
very impressive win coming off her last fight against a Canadian national champion. So the takedown defense is there. but she's facing a bigger girl, so I'm not sure if that's gonna hold up. If it does, I see your girl winning, but if it doesn't, I'm going with Bleda, and that's my final prediction, Bleda for the unanimous decision. But both
Yeah,
these
I agree.
girls,
I I could see, like I said, I could see this fight going either way, man, and that's what makes it so fun. Uh, like I said, Silva's got a good ground game, but to me, her path to victory is to keep it on her feet, stuff those takedowns, pick her apart at range, and see what happens, man.
most definitely, most definitely. So we split on that fight, but we both see, it being a close fight. All right, next up, we got Brady Heistan. Uh, he is 5-2 overall, 0-1 in the UFC, coming off a split decision. So Ultimate Fighter, pretty Ricky. And then we got Fernie Garcia, another Dana White contender alumni, looking to get his first fight, his first win in the UFC, coming off his debut loss. 10-2 overall. What you have in this fight?
Man, this fight's a little tricky as well. Well, shit, the whole. I'm gonna just point this out. The whole undercard's tricky. The whole
Definitely.
card in general, but really the undercard. I think once we get to the main card, guys kind of separate themselves a little more. But this undercard is insane, man. With that being said, you got Brady Heaston, like you said, coming off the Ultimate Fighter. Arguably could have won that fight. Really close fight to Pretty Ricky, man. Um, so yeah, a lot of hype behind Brady. Um, I think this is a matchup of contrasting styles right here, man. I think obviously Brady's gonna try to be in his face, use his wrestling, get it to the ground as early and as often as he can, and Fernie's gonna try to box. Fernie's a good boxer. Uh, you know, um, with that being said, man, I just think Brady's Brady's wrestling is gonna be the difference, man. Um, it scares me because I I see Brady a little. I see Brady behind in the striking department. I do think he's there to be hit on his feet. Yeah, that does scare me. With that being said, I think uh Fernie's gonna struggle stuffing those takedowns because there's gonna be a lot of them coming at him, and he struggled stuffing takedowns in the past. I see Brady just getting to the ground, using his wrestling, and ultimately grounding out a decision. If Fernie can somehow keep it on his feet, I would lean towards Fernie. But until he can show me that he can keep it on his feet, I'm gonna go with Brady by decision.
No doubt, no doubt. And, we have the luxury, especially guys who are fighting down south in the southern region. Me being a trainer, Harley being a manager, we know a lot of these guys. We know a lot of guys that train with these guys, coaches, when it comes to the southern region. And Fernie Garcia training out of Fortis MMA, a lot of
Yeah, man.
guys that train there speak very, very highly of him. He's one of those guys where I don't think we've seen how good he is yet. And giving him Brady Heistan could be, a fight where he shines, or it could be a fight where, he kind of fights less than what he's capable of. With that being said, we kind of know what we're getting with Brady because we've seen them all on the Ultimate Fighter, and what we know, what we're getting with Brady is chain wrestling, chain wrestling, chain wrestling, and standing up. He's throwing big shots, big shots, and I feel like he's getting better. He's only like 22, 23. Um, with Fernie, I believe he's like 30 years old. So we know he's going to be real boxing heavy, not throwing kicks, looking to stuff the takedowns. And that's what we're getting with him. Um, with this fight, I just see Brady kind of taking over with his wrestling, chain wrestling. Fernie could have moments, but even if he rocks him, he still has the tough stuff, the takedowns. So I'm going with high stand by a unanimous decision.
Yeah, like you said. Before we move on, I want to piggyback off of that point. When guys, if Fernie does hurt Brady, what's the first thing that guys do when they get hurt? That their instincts take over, whether
Right.
it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
For
Whether
sure.
it's good or bad, their instincts take over. And so, like you said, if he does get hurt, guess what Brady's gonna try to do? He's gonna go right back to his wrestling, which I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? It's his bread and butter. So like you said, even if Fernie hurts him, he could get him out of there if he hurts him. But even if he hurts him, he's got to stop that takedown. And like I said, until he can show me something, otherwise, I'm going ready to win this by decision via with his wrestling.
For sure, for sure. Another fight where both guys have a clear path to victory. Kind of a question mark. It's not as close as the last fight, but if one guy shows up, it can change the whole dynamic of the fight. We're both riding with Brady Highstand, but if Fernie does show a little difference in his game, it makes a huge difference. All right, next we have Ricky Turcios, 11-3, 1-1 in the UFC. Ultimate Fighter winner coming off his debut loss versus Kevin Natividad, 9-3, 0-2 in the UFC, looking to get his first UFC victory. What do we have for this fight?
Man, what do we have for this fight? We got Pretty Ricky back, man, the meditation king, the hollering in the octagon, the awkwardness. We got a couple chromosomes, extra chromosomes. Then we got, hey, Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky is ready to get back on track, man. I think it'll be a close fight, but I'm gonna go with Pretty Ricky. Uh, why do I go with Pretty Ricky? You might ask. I think his awkward striking is going to be the difference and constant pressure, man. Pretty Ricky's got good cardio. You seen him fight, Zach. He's always in your face. He's constant pressure. He's awkward as hell with the strikes, with the way he hollers. Everything about Pretty Ricky's awkward. I think that's going to help him. Uh, man, but his last fight, I'm gonna go with Pretty Ricky, and I'm confident in it. And I think the UFC's throwing him a bone right here to get him back on track. I think they see a lot of potential in him, which I do as well. Just his last fight kind of scares me. He was very gun shy, you could say, and he wasn't coming forward. He was sitting back, just 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 not taking the initiative to bring the fight to his opponent. I think he's got to just get back on track. I'd like to see him mix in a few takedowns as well, man. Even though I know it's not his style, I would like to see him, you know, you, uh, show that aspect of his game more, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I think in this fight, man, I think Pretty Ricky's awkwardness and his constant pressures on his feet is gonna be the difference and ultimately give him the decision victory.
Yeah, man. I'm really hoping we get to hear Pretty Ricky give a post-fight, speech.
Dude, that might be the one for the ages, man.
Right? You got to beat Moicano from last card, post-fight speech.
Yeah, I was about to say up there with Marcano. I don't know if he can beat Marcano. Marcano and Derek Lewis are the
Oh,
two best.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hard to compete with. But with that being said, man, Pretty Ricky's last fight, not a good outing. It had been a while since he fought. But what scares me, on paper, definitely Pretty Ricky all day, but you look more into this fight and you see that Natividad is a wrestler with power. And I feel like that's the style Pretty Ricky would struggle with. But with that being said, it's more tailor-made for Pretty Ricky to get up there since he is the Ultimate Fighter winner. They know what they're doing. And I'm not saying, by any means, this is definitely Pretty Ricky's fight, but definitely his to win. He's just got to show up like he did on Ultimate Fighter. And that's the Pretty Ricky we know, not the last guy. I don't think, I think it might have been ring rust, layoff. I don't know. Maybe he had injuries, but definitely not used to seeing him fight like that.
yeah, man. And also, before we get out of here and move on to the next fight, uh, I do see Pretty Ricky winning by decision, but I could also see him winning by KO just for the fact that he's going to keep it on his feet. I think the strike is going to give him the Tibidad problems. And the Tibidad, even though I don't think Pretty Ricky's got huge power, the Tibidad's been knocked out bad his last two fights, man. So maybe Pretty Ricky can pull off a late KO. I wouldn't take that to the bank, but that's something else to watch out for as well in this fight, in my opinion.
For sure, for sure. I got Pretty Ricky by decision. I see a lot of these early fights going, the distance.
Yeah, me too.
All right, next fight we got Maria Oliveira, 13-5, 1-1 in the UFC, fighting Vanessa Demopoulos, 8-4, 2-1 in the UFC. Real another close matchup. What you got here?
Yeah, man, this is truly like literally a pick 'em fight, man. Literally, I think the odds are to pick 'em right now. So, did you check on that, Zach? I mean, it's no big deal, but I
I
think it
want
is
to
a pick
say
'em.
Demopoulos was like the higher 100s as a favorite, and Oliveira's the underdog
Okay, yeah, but in my mind, it's still a pick 'em fight.
for
With that
sure.
being said, man, man, this is a really close fight again. In this fight, both girls have a path to victory. Uh, you know, I'm gonna go with Demopoulos. I think her ground game will definitely be the difference. I'm gonna be bold right here. Make a bold prediction. I think Demopoulos wins the fight by a sub. Okay, late sub. Uh, but with that being said, this is where it gets really tricky. Oliveira's got really good striking. She's got a huge reach advantage. Huge reach advantage. She got to use her reach, pick her opponent on the feet. If she can keep the fight standing, use her reach, keep Demopoulos at they on the feet with her reach, she's got a real chance to win. And I like her chances on the feet. But if it goes to the ground, which I think it will, I see Demopoulos getting some good positions and ultimately uh, submitting Oliveira. I'm gonna go submission by armbar. I may even call it submission. I
Okay.
like her. I like Demopoulos by armbar submission.
Hey, if it happens, we're gonna have to call you Mr. Carly, man. Start charging people
Yeah,
for maintenance and stuff.
yeah, man, yeah.
So, yeah, man, I agree with all that. I'm not so much more on the submission side. I'm more on seeing a unanimous decision for Demopoulos. The thing that scares me is that reach, man. Oliveira got such more reach than her, but I feel like Demopoulos is used to fighting bigger fighters, more rangier fighters, and then
Yeah,
her
and
record.
Demopolis is also more seasoned too.
Yeah, yeah, oh, definitely. Even before she got to the UFC, she was fighting good girls in Invicta.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like, man, Demopolis's recent wins, you had versus Silva Juarez Gomez, she got rocked and then she pulled off an armbar, but before that it wasn't looking too good. And then she just beat Jean Frey, split decision, close fight. Both those girls that she beat are, currently losing in the UFC right now. So that's the only thing I'm worried about is that plus the reach. But when it comes down to it, I feel like Demopolis is more gritty, more willing to take a risk and really bring the fight to Oliveira. So I'm going with Demopolis, 29-28 unanimous decision.
Yeah. And honestly, Zach, if I had to put my everything on it, I would lean Demopolis more by decision. I would,
Right.
but something I just have a feeling that she's gonna pull up sub, man. So I wanted to go on record and see
Hey man,
see what I can do, man.
calling your shots, man. Calling your shots. Next up, we have Miles John, 12-2, 3-2 in the UFC. Facing Vince Morales, 11-6, 3-4 overall in the UFC. What do we have for this fight?
Man, I'm going Miles Johns in this fight, man. Miles Johns has been putting on some good performances as of late. I think there's another one that could go either way. Um, I see Johns. Both guys, really good wrestlers, by the way. Really good wrestlers. We hadn't seen that. We hadn't seen Miles Johns wrestling in his last few fights. I think this could be something that comes back to bite him eventually. He's had a couple highlight reel knockouts, and I'm kind of skeptical of him leaning on his striking a little too much. I'd like to see him mix it up a little bit more, you know. But man, I'm gonna go Miles Johns in this fight, man. I like Johns by decision. I think I think he'll be able to, his stand up will be the biggest difference in this fight, being that both guys like to wrestle. Both
Right.
guys lean on their wrestling. I think I think Miles Johns stand up will be the difference, the biggest difference, and I'm gonna go Johns by decision, dude. Or he could knock out win this fight by knockout, man. Because like I said, he's shown some good, real good power in his last few outings, man. I'm gonna go Johns by decision, or either late stoppage.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I agree with all that. The only thing that scares me, and we talked about it yesterday, Johns took this fight on short notice. Uh, Morales been training, so if John starts off fast and doesn't get the finish, round two and round three, if Morales is going to win, I see him taking over in round two, round three, while Miles is fading because he doesn't have a full training camp. And he's an explosive guy. He looks to land big shots. I think the wrestling here kind of cancels each other out. I think the wrestling's only going to play a factor when, we have 30 seconds left. Who's going to put who on the cage? Who's going to get that leg takedown? And that's where I see the wrestling playing. But if we're going off a striking fight, I'm going to go Miles John to get the
Yeah,
victory. And hopefully he kind of conserves his energy. I see him getting a unanimous decision. The only time I think Morales has been finished is by leg kicks by Chris Gutierrez. So I see his chin holding up. So Miles John by decision.
yeah.
Next up in the women's 125-pound weight division, we got Jennifer Maia, former title contender, 19-9-1, and we have Mariana Moroz, 11-3, coming off a win streak. What do we have for this fight?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people might call me crazy for this pick, man, but I'm gonna go Mariana Moroz. I think first of all, she's a really good boxer. She's got a real boxing base, man. She's a former Ukraine Olympic team member. Um, so I think she's definitely gonna have the edge in striking. What really surprised me, it was a pleasant surprise. But what really surprised me, man, was watching film on Rose. I had seen her a little bit before, but not much. I wasn't really able to go, deep dive with her. Man, her ground game is really ahead of schedule. Man, when you look at when you look at when you look at normally a boxing heavy fighter, you think they'd be really behind in their ground game. I don't think that's the case with Morose, man. I think I think she could win this fight multiple ways. Even though don't get me wrong, I do not see her winning this fight by sub. But I'm gonna take Jennifer Maia by example. Jennifer Maia, can she win this fight? Absolutely. But I think her only way to win this fight is getting into the ground and winning by sub. Um I don't think Maya is capable of hanging with Morose on her feet, man. So with that being said, I think Morose is striking is the biggest difference. Um, but both girls are pretty well rounded. I mean, Maya does have a Muay Thai background as well. Background in some Muay Thai. So she's both girls are pretty well rounded. I think Morose is a little more ahead of the game, the younger fighter as well. And I see Morose stand up being the difference in this fight.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I think more people are leaning to what you're saying. I'm gonna go out on a limb and ride with the vet on this fight. And I think if it's a boxing fight, for sure, Rose has the advantage. But I feel like with Maya having experience, she can when it's on the outside, land heavy leg kicks. When it's close, get the tie clinch, and when it's even closer, get the fight to the ground. Hand wise, I don't see her even close to Morose's level. But I think with her Muay Thai, she can kind of balance the fight out just enough on the feet to where she can eventually get it to the cage. She can eventually, I don't see her double legging Rose. She has good takedown defense, but whenever she gets her to the cage, that's where I see her breaking the fight down, where she's chain wrestling on the cage, not out in the open. And she just can't let Morose get in the rhythm. Morose has the momentum. She's on a win streak. She's a younger fighter. So you kind of got to make this an ugly fight. Not a super ugly fight, but know what to do in each range. And Maya, has fought the best. She's only lost to the best. This is a good test for Morose to see where she's at, if she's ready to take that next step, top 10, top five, wherever. And I'm just riding with the vet on this one. I think she's gonna know what to do at the right times. If it's a close fight, she's gonna know how to make it look like it's in her favor in the judges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but nah, I'm confident in my Rose, man. I'm really confident in my. Could I see that happening? Yeah, absolutely. But
Right.
I feel really good with my Rose, man.
And I don't feel good at all with Maya, but I'm riding with the vet on this one.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, next fight we got Charles Johnson, 11-3, 0-1 in the UFC, looking to get his first win. Versus I'm gonna let you pronounce this name, dog.
Ooh. Uh.
Douglas Zumagulov,
Yeah,
14
yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah,
1-4
yeah.
UFC. What do we have for this fight?
Oh man. Whew. Oh, shit. All right, dog. This is another fight they call fun fight, man. I'm gonna go Johnson by decision or late stoppage. Johnson, uh, good takedown defense and a more technical striker. The difference from me. I think Zumagulov. Did I do good with that pronunciation, Jacqueline?
Yeah, you did great.
And I'm trying to take a page out of your book, man. Let me see exactly what I have. Oh yeah, Zumagulov, man. He comes forward, throws these big looping shots. So I think it could make the fight a little more interesting. But I'm gonna go with Johnson by decision, man, or late stoppage. I think he's a more technical striker, and then that's gonna be the the biggest difference. We've got really good takedown defense. And his last fight, he fought. Help me out, man. Who did he fight his last?
Makayev.
Yeah, we all know Makayev, man. He's got relentless takedowns, man. And look, did Johnson get taken down? Hell yeah, but he's like a damn springboard, man. You know, you get taken down, pop right back up. Get taken down, pop right back up. Get taken down over and over again. And I don't think Zumagulov's wrestling is nearly as good as as Johnson's last opponent. With that being said, man, I'm riding with Johnson by decision, man. I think he'll get it done.
Hey, let me hear that name again, dog.
Zumagulov.
All right, so man, another close fight to me. If I know Zumugulov's record is 1-4 in the UFC, but dude, if you look at those fights, like he's losing by like one round. You know what I mean? And it's because he's
Yeah,
fading. He shoots relentless takedowns, nonstop. Throws big looping shots. Johnson, a high prospect. Before you even got to the UFC, he just went against probably a guy who's going to be contending or at least top five in the UFC flyweight division versus Mokaev. And I know Mokaev landed a lot of takedowns in that fight, but Charles also stuffed a couple and was able to get back up to his feet. So him facing another wrestler while he was already, in training camp, fought a wrestler, gone against another wrestler. Zumagulov has issues with his cardio. Johnson being the guy who gets back up. I'm going with Johnson by decision, but I'm with you on that. I could also see him get a finish while Zumagulov's kind of gassed out in the third round and,
yeah,
ref stops it, sees enough type of fight.
yeah. That's what I should tell. I'm going Johnson by decision, but I could see a late stoppage. And I want to talk about Johnson's debut just for one second, man. The UFC did not do him any favors. Welcome to the UFC, kid. Like, wow, that
Yeah.
was
And
insane.
kudos to
And
him.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. For him to take that fight on short notice and really hang with it, man, that shows a lot about Johnson's moxie. And I think this fight will get him back on track, and he'll be able to start making a name for himself in the UFC. This
Definitely,
fight.
man. One more time. What's the name again?
Zuma Gulov, baby, I'm locking it in. I'm locking Johnson in with my pick, but I'm locking Zuma Gulov in on the pronunciation. If anybody has a better pronunciation, please drop in the comments and let me know, man. But I'm gonna go final decision on the pronunciation, Zuma Gulov.
All right, next up we got Jack Della Maddalena, 12-2, undefeated in the UFC at 2-0 versus Danny Roberts, 18-6, 7-5 in the UFC. What's this fight looking like?
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I feel bad for Danny Roberts because I think they're throwing him to the wolves, bro. I think I'm gonna go with Jack Dale Magdalena by knockout, and I think it's gonna be a ugly knockout, man. Um, Roberts can't hang with Magdalena on his feet. I think that's evident. To me, man, I don't know. I think if Roberts wants to win, he's got to make it ugly. He's got to come forward, maybe mixing some takedowns. Make it really ugly or rugged, just grind you out type of fight. I don't see that happening. This is a quick pick for me. I'm gonna go Magdalena by knockout, man.
Yeah, like we talked about beginning of the card, a lot of these fights are close. This fight is not close at all. They have an Australia card coming up in February. Jack Maddalena already expressed he wants to be on there. I think this is a quick get him 3-0 in the UFC and put him on that Australia card in February. Danny Roberts starts off fast. He does a lot of good things right standing up. He just does not have a chin. He's shown that over and over again. Um, Maddalena hits very hard, has a good jab, has takes one to give one. And if you're fighting a guy like Roberts who's gonna, have chin issues and you're taking one to give one, you're most likely gonna at least land one shot. And just like last week's main event, same thing. This guy only needs one shot to put you out, and he mixes it up really good going to the body. Real short and simple, man. Jack Maddalena by knockout. Let's see him on that February card. Give him a step up and go from there.
Yeah, man. Like you said, Danny Roberts does do some good things on the feet, but I think that could come back to hurt him in this fight, man.
Yep.
Because he could have some flashes to where, oh, he's doing good, then boom, dude. I just So with that being said, that's why I say he gotta make it up. He can't strike with Atlanta for 15 minutes.
And
He
that's what
can't.
and that's what Roberts is a striker. So stylistically, not the best matchup for Roberts.
Yeah. But don't you agree that even though he is a striker, that he would have to try to mix in some takedowns to just offset Magdalena's striking?
Yeah, the path to victory is like Roberts got to land a hard, clean shot that Maddalena doesn't recover from and just outpoint him. I don't
Yeah,
think
man.
I don't that's hard. That's hard to it's gonna be a hard style to beat for him.
And I see this fight ending pretty early, to be honest, too.
Absolutely. So yeah, we both have pretty clearly Jack Maddalena by finish, TKO or KO. The next fight, we have a fan-friendly fight. My opinion might be fight of the night. Muslim Salikov, 18-3, 5-2 in the UFC versus Andre Fidel, 16-5, 2-2 in the UFC. Both coming off of losses, both hungry to get it, both strikers. What do you got for this fight?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say this. I said this on last week's pod. I'm gonna say this again. For this fight, the judges they can go to the bathroom, get a hamburger, hot dogs, nachos, chips, take a go take pictures, whatever they want to do. Because look, we ain't gonna need them for this fight. Okay, there's another fight we ain't gonna need them. Somebody's getting knocked out. Both guys coming off of knockout losses. Something's got to give. Somebody's gonna get knocked out 2 fights in a row. With that being said, fun fight. Both guys have a legitimate chance to win. Both guys have real power. Uh, I'm gonna go with Andre. Help me out with the last name. Help me out. Help me out with the last
Hello.
name, Zach.
Filio, along the lines of that.
Filio. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with Andre Filio on this fight, man.
Should have just
He's
said
a
Andre.
younger fighter. What's that?
Should have just kept Andre right there.
Yeah. We can edit that part out. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Andre in this fight, man. I think. Well, I know he's a younger fighter. You know, Muslim Salikov, 38 years old, man. But yeah, both guys got knocked out. But man, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you're 38 years old and you're coming off a brutal knockout versus 28 years old and you coming off a knockout, the 28-year-old is always gonna be able to recover faster and better. I think Salikov, albeit he does have some good striking, uh, Andre has better, is a more technical striker,
Mhm.
and I think that that's gonna help him in this fight, man. I think he's more explosive. I think Muslim Salikov, man, he's more winging shots, throwing big shots with all his power. I think that's gonna come back to bite him in this fight. I got Andre Filio by knockout, man. I see Filio knocking out Salikov. And if he does, Salikov that might finish Salikov, man. I don't know. I don't want to ride the man's career off. He's done some good things, but he is 38. That put him at back-to-back knockout losses. It could be coming close to the end of the road if that happens.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I have to agree with that. I think Muslim. He's a real dynamic striker. He's gonna throw spinning stuff, spinning attacks, and he's shown he can wrestle. Not a high level wrestler, but he has it in his arsenal if need be. But if you look at Andre's debut fight versus Michelle Pereira, Pereira throws spinning stuff, uses wrestling when needed. And even though Pereira beat him, it was starting to get closer as the fight, went longer. And Andre took that fight on short notice. So similar matchup here with a guy older, kind of like you said, going on the back end of his career. If Salikov does win this fight, I feel like it's gonna be because he uses his wrestling, makes it a dirty fight. But I see like Andre kind of catching him with hooks for some reason, like left hook, and just being the more cleaner striker, being the no I think Andre knows his fight, like what he has to do. It's more clear with Salikov. He might think he can strike and then might have to revert to his wrestling to where that's not his initial game plan. I think I think he gets the TKO here.
Yeah. Um, I agree. It would be wise for Salikov to start to get into the ground, but I don't think he's gonna try. I think he's gonna just get into a firefight and let the best man win.
Yeah, I'm all about that type of fight.
Me and you
I'm here to
both.
see it. So we're both riding with Andre Fiel. But we both see, it being a close fight.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next fight. Can't wait to break this one down. We got a fight that probably isn't going the distance. We got Chase Sherman, 16-10, 4-9 UFC versus Waldo Cortez Acosta, 8-0 in the UFC, just coming off his debut win a couple weeks ago. What do we have for this fight?
Man. Okay, people. Before I break this fight down, when you get to this fight, pause the pod. I want y'all to do me a favor. Pause the pod. Go back to last week's pod and look at my main event prediction. Okay, look at my main event prediction versus Zach's main event prediction, and then come back and and hit the play button on this one. Cause I'm gonna go out on a limb again. I'm gonna go with the guy that shouldn't win on paper, the guy that's 4-6 in the UFC, the guy that's older, the guy that the gatekeeper type of fighter. I'm gonna go with Mr. Chase Sherman by decision. Well, you know what? I don't see this fight. I'm gonna go Sherman by decision. I really will go Sherman by decision,
Mhm.
even though I don't see it going the distance. I'm gonna go Sherman by decision. Okay, but that being said, man, I know people are gonna look at this pick and say, man, how in the hell are you picking Chase Sherman? He's 4-6 in the UFC. He's a journeyman. Uh, Cortez Acosta, he's a prospect, undefeated prospect. He's just coming off a win. You know, man, Cortez Acosta doesn't have potential, but he's a boxer. He relies so much on his boxing. If you look at his last fight from what 2 3 weeks ago, he doesn't take leg kicks at all. Man, that leg's got to still be beat up somehow. Um, if Sherman could mix it up on his feet, which I think he will, and just touch that lead leg of Acosta, and piggyback off of that, work his jab in there as well, throwing some nice leg kicks, mix it up on his feet. I see Sherman winning this fight, man. I do. I think Cortez Acosta, like I said, relies too much on his boxing, albeit he's had some pro boxing success in the past. When I look at his last fight in the UFC, uh, I think he just throws one big shot at a time. He relies too much on that one shot. He knows he has power, and I think in this fight, it's gonna come back to bite him, man. I think Sherman, even though Sherman doesn't have the best movement, I think he's gonna be able to see uh, Cortez Acosta telegraphing the shots and loading up on the shots. I think he's gonna be able to get out of the way, using some movement, touch him up with different strikes, and ultimately win by decision. And I think Sherman's gonna take out the leg as well.
Okay, okay. I gotta ask you a couple questions. If this fight wouldn't have been on short notice, let's say it would have been a full training camp for Cortez Acosta, doesn't have that fight 2 weeks ago, you still got the same answer?
Honestly, I wouldn't feel as confident in it, but yeah,
Okay.
I I,
Um,
I really
who's a
cause my thing is that he didn't take leg kicks at all, man, like at all. And yeah, he walked through them though, man. He did. He walked through them like a beast.
yeah,
But I just and I know he's got that pro boxing experience. I know he can knock Sherman out. Sherman's been stopped before. With that being said, I just I he relied too much on that one big shot, man. I think it's gonna come back to bite him.
okay,
That's what I
second
really do.
question. Second question. Who's the better boxer?
Uh, I would lean towards the Costa. Yeah,
Does Sherman throw a lot of kicks?
no, but he
That,
doesn't.
Does Sherman wrestle?
No,
So this is a boxing fight with 4 ounce gloves.
man. Chase Sherman, my boy from Mississippi.
Yeah,
Shout out to my girlfriend. She's from Mississippi. So look,
so that's
we
why you
might
pick.
even have, huh?
So that's why you picking him.
Yeah. Also, shout out to UK the babe. We're going with the Mississippi, the Mississippian. We're going with the Magnolia State. We're gonna lock it in. We're gonna have a viewing party this weekend. Chase, the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman, gonna put on for Mississippi. He's gonna win this fight. Look, man, um, I just see the Vanilla Gorilla winning this fight, man. I do. Yes, Sherman doesn't really mix it up much, but man, it's so the writing on the path to victory for Sherman is so clear. Chop that leg down, man. And if he does that, I mean, look, I know he's not the best leg kicker, but he's good enough. He's an MMA fighter for a reason.
All
You
right.
know, as
So Bandera damn near kicked Acosta's leg so many goddamn times, full power, and Acosta still won the fight. You got Sherman, who ain't kick heavy on the leg. Even if he lands the leg kicks, it's shown that Acosta's gonna stand right in front of you and still punch you in the face and be able to win the fight.
yeah, but that little leg is tender, man. It's like a good little
Ah,
chicken leg from Popeye. You know that
ah,
that Popeye's chicken leg when it comes out of the grease is real hot. Juicy and tender, man. Same thing. That leg been in the grease. A Acosta's leg been in the grease just 2 weeks ago, man.
I got Acosta
Yeah, he.
out. Acosta by knockout, bro.
Katie Babe, I love you. We going with the Magnolia State right here. We locking it in.
All right, we're gonna see. This is another one. Bragging rights are on the line right here. A lot of these fights, we picked the same picks. We agreed on, a lot of things, but this one we definitely are divided. And we're gonna come back to this, just like we did the main event. And when my boy Acosta gets the dub, we're gonna, speak about it on the recap.
Oh yeah, we gonna speak about it. Hey, look, when the Vanilla Gorilla wins this fight, we're gonna invite him on the podcast. I'm gonna shoot him a DM.
Hey, he got a chance of winning, you feel me? But when I look at the car facts, I'm going with the brand new car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay. All right. All right, up next we got Ion Kutalaba, 16-8-1, 5-7 in the UFC, coming off for a naked choke loss versus Johnny Walker. And then we got Kennedy and Chesku, 10-3, 4-3 in the UFC, a prospect to keep your eyes on. Who do we have in this fight?
Man, to be honest with you, I think this fight's pretty clear, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Andrescu by TKO, man. His I think he'll pick him apart on his feet, man. I think he'll use his height and his reach advantage and his reach to his advantage. I see him picking Kutalaba apart on the feet. He could mix in some takedowns as well. He's got good wrestling. Now I don't see him submitting Kutalaba. He doesn't have any submission victories on his record, so I don't see that happening in this fight. I don't think he's gonna start a new trend in this fight. However, if he does get into the ground, he could get into the ground and win this fight by via ground and pound as well. But I think uh, Kennedy's just gonna keep the fight in range, pop that jab on his face, work off the jab, mixing some good striking, and ultimately KO Kutilama.
No doubt. I think with Kutalaba, we know what we're getting. A guy you either got to put him out or he's gonna put you out. He does have some wrestling to him and some subs, but at this level, we haven't really been seeing it as of lately. Kutalaba, when he's fighting a guy with a big reach, kind of struggles. Kennedy is a guy with big reach. Kennedy, we don't really know what his ceiling is yet. Even in his last fight over Carl Roberson, he's shown that he can wrestle. Just adding new stuff to his game, and he's such a good athlete. You know, mostly guys that are in the UFC, you're not gonna be adding stuff to your game as far as wrestling if you're not a wrestler, if you're a striker. But he's such an athlete that he can get away with that, and that just kind of shows you where this guy can go in the UFC. And I just see him having more ways to finish the fight, whether it's standing up on the ground. I will say this: Kennedy does kind of is a kind of a slow starter. So if he gets rocked and Ion Kutalaba just like swarms him like Ion Kutalaba does to people, that can be his path to victory. But I see kind of Kennedy just playing his range, staying on the outside. Kutalaba kind of like overextending himself. Kennedy catching him with a big shot or his wrestling and just getting the job done. Finish TKO, KO, however.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubt, no doubt. And like if this fight was on, let's say last week's fight card, I wouldn't have it as a lock. But since we have so many close fights on this card, I got this fight as a lock. And that just shows you
Yeah,
how close these fights are on the overall card.
yeah, but I am confident in Kennedy, man. I'm really confident in him, so
No
I
doubt.
think
No
that,
doubt.
that that's a good lock.
You're right. All right, we have Derek Lewis, the main event, 26-10, 17-8 overall in the UFC. Formal title contender versus Sergey Spivak, 15-3, 6-3 in the UFC, coming off a couple wins. What do we have for the main event?
Well, I'm gonna go with Spivak in this fight, but it could be a good thing for Derek Lewis because he is the polar bear. Spivak is. With that being said, his balls will not be that hot because the polar bear is gonna get the victory.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're gonna be cold.
Yeah. Yeah. His balls will be a lot
Hey,
colder.
we don't know what he looks like when his balls are cold.
Yeah, man. He might just freeze up and I don't know. We'll see. That'll be the biggest question in this fight. If he'll if his balls will still be hot or if he'll freeze up. With that being said, man, I think the polar bear Spivak's wrestling ground game is gonna be the difference, man. Derek, we all know what Derek brings to the table. That big right hand, big power in his right hand. If he catches you, he can put anybody to sleep. If Spivak can get out of the first round, definitely out of the second round, he'll win this fight easy. Um, he'll definitely be in a better condition. He'll have better conditioning coming into this fight. Obviously, we all know Derek Lewis. He does not do cardio. He even went on record multiple times saying he don't do cardio. He told Dana White not to give him a title fight because he don't like to fight 5 round fights. He'd rather go out of, go eat at a buffet, which I don't blame the man. But if he admitted it, hey, I mean the man, I give him props to admit it.
He's
He
trolling,
he
man.
don't.
He's trolling.
What's that?
He's trolling, bro.
Yeah, man. Derek Lewis gonna throw that big right hand, try to hit you. Spivak will get him tired, get him to the ground, and ultimately TKO Derek Lewis via ground and pound, man. I see that being a clear victory for Spivak. If can Lewis catch him early? Yeah, and if he catches him, Spivak's in trouble. But if Spivak sticks to his game plan, um, he'll be fine. People are saying Derek Lewis is takedown defense has gotten a little better, which it has. But Spivak brings a different dynamic to his takedowns, man. He's not gonna shoot double legs, single legs, none of that. He's gonna try to go for trips, sweeps, things of that nature. That's gonna give Derek another dimension to have to defend. He's not gonna go with those traditional takedown styles with the single legs, double legs, and stuff like that. So I think even though Derek has worked on his takedown defense and gotten a little better, I don't think that'll be much for him in this fight. Spivak can get it to the ground and ultimately finish it via ground and pound, in my opinion.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna have to have you take the stand again, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Let me know if you're ready, man.
Hold on. Are you going with the Black Beast in this fight?
Look, I learned a long time ago you never bet
Oh, come
against the
on,
Black
Zach.
Beast. Never bet against
No,
it.
don't do it,
Ever.
Zach.
So, are you willing to take the stand?
Yeah, I can't stand up, but I roll my chair.
All right, all right, all right. Besides Daniel Cormier, what wrestler has Lewis lost to?
But that's not gonna matter in this fight, man.
What you mean, bro?
I just broke it down.
Listen,
Spivak has
listen.
a different style, bro. He's not gonna shoot single and double legs. He's gonna try to trip you.
And
Sweep your leg out from
I
under you.
love that you brought that up, bro. I love that you brought that up. Because we got Blagov and Ivanov, who he beat by split decision, who went for those upper body takedowns, head throws. We have Yuri Latifi, great wrestler, Ukrainian champion. Derek Lewis was able to stand up and beat him, keep it from the ground. We got Alexei
Yeah, but
Olenek.
that was why Lewis.
We have we have Alexei Olenek, bro, king of like head throws, awkward takedowns. He got in Olenek's best position and was able to get out of it, bro. And look, I'm gonna go way back. I'm gonna bring this way back before Lewis was in the UFC. You feel me? Jared Roshaw, NCAA champion, able to stuff the takedowns and knock his
But
ass out.
he wasn't trying to sweep him. He wasn't trying to sweep his leg off from under him, Zach.
I hear you, but I just named two guys before that were.
Bro, and that was before this dude. The Black Beast is cooked, man.
Look,
You
listen,
know.
listen, listen. Curtis Blades,
Okay, I
wrestler.
understand Curtis Blades, bro.
There's a
Curtis
lot of
did go
wrestlers
back
that
on this.
Derek Lewis knocked out. There's a lot of upper body takedown artists that Derek Lewis knocked out. Now, before we get into anything else, next question. Can you name Derek Lewis's last three losses? And if not, I can name them for you.
His last three losses. Honestly, I don't remember, man. I don't remember.
Pavlich, right? He got knocked out. Striker. Tai Tuivasa got knocked out. Striker. Cyril Gane got knocked out. Striker. I'm
But that's what I'm saying. There is a striker though,
Ooh,
so that's gonna what's gonna hurt him in this fight. Like,
Spivak's the striker?
no, bro. You saying Derek Lewis? Or you saying Derek's
I'm saying
opponent?
he's lost to strikers.
You saying, oh, you saying Spivak lost to strikers?
No, Lewis is only losing to strikers.
Yes, exactly. So Spivak's gonna get it to the ground, bro.
I just broke down at least 4 or 5 fights that guys are trying to get it to the ground and got their ass
Bro.
knocked out.
Nope. No.
All right.
No.
All right.
No.
Another fight that we're under. I guess when it comes to the heavyweight division, bro, we just ain't ever gonna agree on it.
Bro. We can't end the pod like
Bro, I can't wait for the recap. I can't wait.
that. Man.
So you riding with
I'm
Spivak?
ready. Spivak, I'm telling you. Spivak, bro. He's gonna use trips, uh, hip throw, shit like that. They ain't gonna know how to fucking defend that.
Huh. Listen, I know Spivak is a great wrestler. If he's gonna win, it's gonna be on the ground for sure. But I think you're overlooking Derek Lewis's ability to fight wrestlers.
And bro, it's a 5 round fight, Zachary.
Okay, what did we talk about last main event? The guy only needed one punch for 25 minutes.
Yeah, but I told you, Pereira was gonna be there for 25 minutes.
Right.
Pereira was gonna be there. Lewis,
Even if
bro,
Lewis is tired, bro, and he lands one punch, it's over. It's over.
you're right. Dude, once he gets him past the round and a half,
Man, I don't know.
Derek hates fighting 5 round fights, bro.
For
He
sure, but
he
he don't need
he
all five
told
rounds.
Joe Rogan he didn't even want to fight for a title because it was a 5 round fight.
The man is hilariously funny, and sometimes people don't get, you know what I'm saying, the sense of humor. But the man be trolling a lot. He be trolling a lot, bro.
He does troll. I look at his Instagram. He's a great follower.
For sure. And look,
The black
I'm not saying Derek Lewis is just gonna like steamroll him. It's gonna be, it's a close fight on paper for me. For me, right? For me, because when I look at the Carfax and I'm looking at the wrestlers that he fought, and I feel you that the guy used trips, all that, but he's fought that overseas style of wrestling before, bro. He's fought it at least 2 or 3 times, and he's beat it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but the Black Beast, bro, that man, he's done coming off a back-to-back losses, bro.
First strikers.
I understand.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'm just giving the tape and I'm giving my opinion. I got Derek Lewis by knockout. Will he get taken down? Probably so. Will he get back up? That's the fight right there. Will he get back up?
Oh no, no, answer your own question. When he get back out after he gets taken down?
I believe so. If Tai Tuivasa can get up, I believe Derek Lewis can get up. Because when Sergi fought Tai Tuivasa, Tai was able to get up more than once. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, I'm going with the polar bear.
Yeah.
Bring your
All
fur
right. What we
coat,
putting on
baby.
this fight,
Bring your
bro?
fur. Where's the fight at?
Huh?
Where's this court at again?
I think it's in the Apex. Let me check.
Yeah, bring your. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's in the Apex.
Bring your fur coat to the apex because it's gonna get chilly. Sergey Spivak gonna take Derek Lewis down. Gonna sweep his leg off on him or do a good hip toss, something of that nature. Beautiful. Take it down, ground and pound. The referee, man, who's the referee in this fight? Big Dan?
It don't matter because they won't need it because Derek Lewis knocking his ass out.
Yeah. Uh huh. And Derek Lewis probably mad at Big Dan for stopping his fight, his last fight a little too early. I
Man,
give Derek his
When
I
Derek
give
Lewis
Derek,
wins and he throws this cup, are you gonna catch it?
yeah,
Bet. Bet. So what we putting on this fight, man? We've been talking a lot. What we putting on this fight? Some Popeyes.
we can do some Popeyes.
All right, we could do that, man. Derek Lewis by knockout, and you got
Spivak by TKO, ground and pound.
okay, and we're gonna end it on that, and we're gonna come back to this.
And I want some onion rings at Popeyes. You know why? The onion rings.
All right, so if you stayed long enough to watch the whole card, we're gonna give you three for sure picks that we feel, we're not financial advisors. Do whatever you want, but this is what we are doing. We have Kennedy and Chescu, straight up win. We have Pretty Ricky, straight up win. And then what was the other one? All
Jack Del Magdalena.
right, we got those three. If you stayed long enough for the podcast, you know, that's what I'm putting my money on. You got any closing words for the audience?
Tune in. It's a tough fight, tough card to break down. I enjoy breaking it down. If you go on to the Apex, bring your fur coat because it's gonna get chilly. The polar bear is coming to take over the UFC Apex, baby.
We
TKO
shall see.
victory for the polar bear.
We shall see.
Mic
If you
drop.
got any comments, leave them in the comment sections. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Till next time.